We are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Changeling the Lost, Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your your storyteller for this World of Darkness chronicle. And joining me today, we have Austin.
Hello, I'm Austin. I'm being playing Frank and or Lisa.
By the way, did you send your character art in so that we can actually put you in the overlay yet?
Oh, yes. I need to make character art. Hero Forge is really bad at furries.
Just a bit.
Fair.
No, not just a bit. Just a lot.
We have a Changeling the Lost symbol next to you for now. It works.
And Julia?
I am Julia. I'm playing Cassandra Scott, formerly known as Calliope Daniels Scope, and she is an elemental polychromatic.
And Katie?
I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary.
And Drevian?
Drevian, I'm playing Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And Jeremy?
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Marlene Dubois. Jack Montgomery, Chatelaine, Fair Chatelaine.
Yep. And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights and human rights, eat the rich. I'm happy. I think it's still Wrath Month.
No, we're in Sloth.
No, we're in Sloth Month.
Sloth.
Yes, we're in Sloth now. Happy Sloth. I don't have anything else on my brain right now. Whatever. I'm sure there's a fourth thing I can add.
There's always more things.
Read banned books.
Yeah. When last we left our motley, the group of them had discovered and furthered conversation with a mysterious and entirely fresh changeling by the name of Frank, who was looking for their friend Lisa. Later on, it turned out that Lisa and Frank were the same person. Not that they're aware of that. After a bit of trying to figure out what was going on with this new individual, who is two individuals, the group brought them back to the Commons to see if they could get any additional information from anyone else. During which time, after a bit of conversation and introductions, the concept of hunting icons in the hedge was brought forward to the rest of the group by a conversation with Chelsea Spinner. And also, Joe discovered that there is another individual on the other end of that journal. There appears to be a paired journal to this one, and whatever is written in one will appear in the other. And the other individual at the end of our last session, when asked what their name was, said that it's not exactly safe to tell you who I am when I don't know who you are, but for now, you can call me the Prince of Dragons. And that's where we pick up.
The Prince of Dragons.
Okay.
How is that an answer?
It's a name.
It's what I've been called.
I wasn't writing that. I was talking.
Okay, I was about to say.
I mean, it's a name.
It's a title.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference between a title and a name, really?
Okay, I really am not in the mood for philosophical discussions.
That wasn't philosophical. Seriously, what is the difference?
Oh, tweet is sent, by the way.
Oh, yes.
To Twitter. I'm sorry, X.
No, it's still Twitter.
Nope, it is Twitter.
The link is still twitter.com.
Plus, Xing people is not as good as tweeting at people.
Depends on the person.
That is fair.
Back to Mysterious Book.
Yes.
I forget. Oh God, I forget what else I've written in this thing.
You asked how they knew about your hollow.
Yes, and that was not the. I think they said that was not the only person that resides there.
Yeah, it says they said. Let's just say it's not just your hollow.
Oh, gotcha.
So you sharing a space?
Sounds not
like,
that I know of.
I mean, it sounds like you are.
Well, I don't know who this is. I would think I'd know if I was sharing a space with a person, but apparently I don't. I apparently don't know a lot of things. And this from a book that's supposed to help me. It's not helping me. It's giving me more questions.
More
which,
questions is help.
Which I totally need. I totally need more questions.
I mean, you need the right questions.
Yes. The more questions you have, the more you can think about it, and things might start to come together. This is a good thing.
I don't like. I'm looking at this thing and I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I don't exactly want to tell it who I don't exactly want to tell it who I am either, but I feel like that might be pertinent.
Perhaps you can arrange a tape.
Well, worth a shot.
Somewhere public, perhaps, so that way you and this individual are both relatively protected.
So I'm going to ask, I'm going to write in the journal. I said, is it possible to meet in a safe place so we can actually meet?
Roll me. I'm trying to think how you would phrase the written word as far as convincing people. I know it's expression. I'm just trying to figure out what attribute I'm pairing it with. I'm going to say wits and expression.
Wits and expression?
That's usually, yeah.
Okay.
They quietly enter.
Wits expression.
I've been here the whole time.
I stand right.
That was the point.
A success. Look at that.
Oh, wait, really? Oh, yeah, hey.
There's a pause. And hang on a minute, I need to pull back up my map of Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and the area around it. Let's see. What sort of public place are we talking?
I'm going to write somewhere where we can both be protected.
As another momentary pause. Knoxville Museum of Art. Pick a time.
Guys, it agreed to meet. Or they agreed to meet. It's not an it, it's a they.
Right. Well,
They
it could be in
agreed
it too if that's how they. But regardless, I see your point. Remind me, what time is it right now?
It is at time of day, probably not quite noon yet.
Okay.
Well,
This was the first thing you did in the morning.
Yeah, definitely early in the day
How
to murder.
too early in the
bigots.
You're also still trying to figure out your fetch's schedule for a good time when they would be out for you to sneak into their place.
Also that.
So well, the museum closes at 5.
Ask if 2 is an option. Ask if 2 is an option.
And Joe picks up the pen again. Can you meet at 2 p.m. today?
Momentary pause. Text begins to reappear. I'll make my way there.
Joe just gonna say, thank you.
Roll me a wits and perception, Joe.
Is that what wits and perception? Which is probably staring me in the face somewhere.
Sorry, wits and composure.
Composure.
Perception is from Old World of Darkness. Different. I'm thinking cross editions.
Composure. Oh, there it is.
One success. You're not familiar enough to fully identify someone by their handwriting. But something about this handwriting is familiar. You don't know whose writing this is, or even if it's someone that you know from this world, or maybe even from a torn memory of Arcadia. But you've seen this handwriting before.
Okay. Now that that's settled, can we put the spotlight on somebody else? Because I really need a break.
Absolutely. Now we have 2 hours. How far away are we from this? How long is it going to take to get to this location?
1 second. Let me get directions from Dollywood real quick.
An hour and 59 minutes.
You got a couple hours. It said it's before noon. It's probably like 11-ish. You got a few hours at least.
Okay.
From Dollywood, it's about an hour drive.
Okay, so we've got a couple hours. I'm assuming before we move on to someone else, just really quick, there's a little bit of preparation for this trip. I'm assuming you are not wanting to go by yourself.
Probably not the best idea to meet a mysterious person who can write in a journal and won't tell me their real name.
Right. How many people do you want?
At least one.
And do you want people in the crowd, or do you want people that can be right there with you?
Like enough of a distance away to like run and tackle somebody, but not like right like over my shoulder.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I will of course be going. If that's the case, then I will stay. I will stay out of drag for this one, so I will be able to blend in a little more.
But you go stake out a house.
Hmm?
You have to go stake out a house. Don't you?
No, we have to figure out when he's going to be gone.
Oh.
Which, as you may not remember, but Tears people are looking into that to try and figure out that schedule.
Exactly.
I totally forgot about.
So yeah, I do not have anything to do today. At the moment. Nothing pressing, at least. Cassandra's
speaking of Cassandra, while this conversation was going on,
you're not there.
Walked over to go talk to Winter. So while this conversation is happening, Cassandra.
So she walks over. How like crowded is it over there in Winter's section?
Winter is always sparse.
Okay.
Just by the very nature of the people who inhabit the Winter Court, they are people who are not always the most sociable and are oftentimes hiding from their pain, themselves, the world, whatever. So while there are always people around listening and sort of watching and seeing the goings on, they're never crowded. They're never crowded like spring is. There are just sort of a few people taking notes, reading, some people who look like they're reading but are probably actively listening to everything going on, you know.
So Cassandra will walk through, just sort of eyeing every single individual who's there, do a full loop, and then walk to the outskirts. Like as she's getting ready to leave, she is going to say at a very low volume, just above a whisper, "I am looking for someone to help me find someone."
A few moments pass, and a quiet whisper sort of answers back. It depends on who you're looking to find. You can always help for a price.
Frankly, it depends on what the price is, but I'm looking for. I don't even know if the person exists. I'm looking to see if somebody has a fetch, and I don't want to say desperate because that implies a lot more than I want to let on.
Finding a fetch. It's a matter of security. Something that we can do. A favor for a favor.
Do I get to know what the...
But in return, we would ask that you deliver a message to a location of our choosing. You need not be aware of its contents or even see the individual who will receive this message. You need only deliver it.
Exactly how dangerous is this locale?
Not at all. But it is a place where we should not go.
Are you talking about the thorns, or you want me to go further in?
No. Those places are very dangerous. We wish you to deliver a message to a place within the Rio.
I'm going to assume that the actual location will not be given to me unless I agree to this.
You are correct.
I read a mystery book in my time. I accept.
Very well. You may call me Whistlewind. And you sort of are given a tap on the shoulder.
Calliope's form just sort of, if anybody like has looked around and spotted her, just sort of sparks multiple different colors like lightning across her skin, and she will take a step away in the opposite direction of the tap and turn.
And you turn, and you see an individual who looks like ice. They have this sort of pale bluish complexion, this sort of jagged, angular facial features, hair that almost seems like dry ice mist, like the sort of misting effect that you get off dry ice is what their hair looks like. Their eyes are these sort of almost white blue, and their entire feature is tall and thin.
At this point, Calliope realizes that she went for a sword she does not have on her hip. Just sort of relax her arm.
I would have you place this box, they say, holding out a very small, long, like yay long and thin box. At this address, they say as they put a note on top of it. You do not even need to be present when they receive it. Simply make sure it is placed there. And I will find whether or not a fetch exists. Whose fetch?
Enjoy, Abba.
I will discover the truth.
I would like to know. I realized that I did not type up this agreement properly. I'd prefer to know the location. If that is another favor, then we can discuss that.
I would normally ask for more, but as this is a matter of security, and fetches pose a danger to us all, this will be enough.
Thank you kindly.
They extend an icy hand out for a handshake.
And she will take it and probably sort of freeze to them for a second.
It's a very rigid handshake. And you feel the passing of glamour as they expend a point and seal the promise.
She'll sort of look down at the address.
It's a residential area in the middle of Knoxwood, somewhere around Park City.
I guess I better get to this. Thank you, she will say, nodding her head.
Thank you.
She will promptly turn and just sort of not beeline, but just sort of, she will walk her way out of Winter and just sort of meander between the courts and then make her way back to the table and sit down.
And Joe's going to look over at her and say, I sincerely hope I did not upset you or say something to offend you. I did not.
Joe. No, I completely understand where you're coming from. And in a place of loss, in a place of emptiness, and all you want is questions. All you want is answers. All you have is questions, and the only thing you get is silence. And trust me, if anybody on this planet's gonna understand what you're going through, it's gonna be anybody at this table. I spent 4 years our time as a puddle of water in a cup with nothing but my thoughts. I had millions of questions. I thought up millions of answers and they all died out. So I'm happy that you're part of the motley, and I'm happy that I have the chance to help you, and I did.
What clarification, please?
Oh, I have an errand to run a little later. Just court business, as it were.
Court business.
Yeah. Do you want an answer? I decided to go the most direct route.
Wait a second, you're doing this on my behalf.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding ungrateful, why? You barely know me.
That may be the case. I may have only known any of your names for 3 days. 4 days? How long have we been out now? Time's meaningless.
It really is.
I was taught when I was growing up that while family is not the most important thing on the planet, and it's never gonna be, the family that you forge along the way is gonna be the thing that carries you through life. So, reason I'm doing something for someone who is, by all intents and purposes, a complete and total stranger, that'd be because it's how my parents raised me. So, and if, oh gods, I just realized my parents think I'm dead. You know what? That is a breakdown I will have later. Anyway.
There is a pain. That's the way we do it.
I just want to be whatever help I can.
Like Joe is near on, like me right now, I'm just near on crying. And it just says, thank you. And can I give you a hug?
Yes. Yes. As Joe wraps her in her giant hug, she will just sort of like lean out and look at the rest of the group. And that goes for any of you. You're all my family now, so.
I mean, obviously.
Be prepared for some really weird Christmas cards. But I have to.
As Frank sits on one end of the table awkwardly.
Yep, just like, yep, this is going on around me. I'm just going to hang out.
Frisian on the other end of the table just staring off.
Actually, there's a lot of emotion going on right now.
I see a face.
What'd you say the role was?
Resolve, composure, and weird.
Okay. Oh goodness, I have a lot of all of those. Okay, except for
roll another d10 because you got a 10 in there. On 2 successes, you are in enough control to choose when the change happens. But it probably will happen.
Okay.
Now the thought comes to mind of Lisa just glomping the other two.
That would have been if I hadn't rolled any successes.
So, what did I miss while I was off having a interesting experience?
Off on a risky mission.
So Joe has a face-to-face planned with the other owner, the owner of the other side of this collaborative book project, shall we say.
I was gonna say magical journal, but yours sounds better.
Set for a few hours from now. And we just kind of hit that point, and Joe was looking for the focus to go somewhere else. But before we do that again, just so we get our plans finalized for this meeting at 2, I will definitely be there in Boy Drag. I'm thinking, I mean, this is your game. So who you want and who you don't want there is entirely up to you.
I will take as many people as possible, or if nobody else wants to go, that's fine as well.
At this point, it's rainbow time. And Frank will immediately go from sitting in a chair like a normal human being to hopping up and sitting in the chair on her knees, elbows on the table, face in her hands. Can I go?
I would like to exercise a veto power.
Oh, but it sounds like fun. Where are we going?
Lisa, sweetie, how good are you at being quiet and not being seen?
Look at her.
I'm trying to make a point here.
I'm trying not to look at it.
I'm a bad liar.
Yeah, that's about what I thought.
Lisa.
Well, but what if you need a distraction? I'm very good at being distracting.
Okay. Ooh, mom mode again. I don't know if I like this. Okay, so this is gonna be like a not fun trip. This is going to be a very serious and short trip. So I don't think you would really have any fun. And distractions are awesome, but we're really not going to need one.
You always need a distraction.
No, and you really don't. Sweetie, I care about you a great deal, but I appreciate your enthusiasm and your kindness and your...
This is when the book comes back. We're going to need a distraction. No, I'm kidding.
In which case the book just goes flying across the room. There will be times where we need a distraction. This is not one of them. I promise you, this is a very boring grown-up trip. This is not fun.
You say grown-up like I'm not an adult.
Yeah, I say Grom, I know you're an adult. I understand that you're an adult. I'm just saying, as an adult, some things are more adultness than others.
What kind of place are you going to again? Oh, is it one of those places? That would explain why she's going with you. She'll say, pointing at Marlena.
Anybody else want to ask? Because I'm not sure I do.
I think you want to tread the next few sentences very carefully before Marlena hits you.
Are you talking to me?
No, I am not talking to you, sweetie.
It is perfectly fine. You say exactly what you mean, and I will react in kind. I would simply say that in this situation, Lisa, sweetie, you are exuberant. And perhaps in this matter, there are times where that will be incredibly useful. In this situation, I think the calmest of hands will probably be called for. And you may not be the best fit for that.
Okay.
That is the most diplomatic you will ever see, Marlena. Ever.
I was about to say, that was pretty damn civil for Marlena.
Smooth.
But she got most of her salt out a few moments ago, aka last session. So
It hasn't had time to build back up yet.
hasn't had time. Yeah, you got to recover from something like that.
Too many points.
Yeah, we should at least formalize those plans and what we're doing, how we're approaching it. Unless you just want to play it by ear, that is also an option.
I'm when I said focused off me, I just don't want to take up. I'm going to keep talking and get myself in trouble. And I saw that look on your face, and I'm shutting up now.
It's quite all right.
Not to completely change the subject, Marlena, I have kids, and I'm going to really, really need some advice on that look of yours.
It helps when you have. It helps when your children of teen to young adult angry queer people for many, many, many years. You learn to have to put that fear of yourself into them. Regardless. So you and me for sure going.
As much as I want to be there to help, I think I'm going to have to take a step back and go with Tia to deliver this.
Absolutely fair.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Is that something that you can take? And I just tilt my head towards Lisa with your arm.
You get to be babysat.
As long as she would just sort of look over at Frisian.
Can I float an idea?
I'm listening.
Since I don't know the very nature of this delivery, and frankly, I don't think you do either. I mean, Frisian could babysit. Not that she needs to be babysat, but Frisian could
Of course not.
Frisian could keep her company.
Frisian, who's been absent the entire conversation.
Right. Frisian's about to zone back into like,
That's
all
what you
right.
get for-
As soon as
you
you
get for
say
not
that,
paying
she's going to
attention.
jump up and look at Frizzy and be like, "You know how to swing dance?"
No response.
Do you know how to swing dance? Just blank, just like complete, like into the middle distance, thousand yard stare.
The funny
She
part
is going to grab one hand and a shoulder and start singing and trying to dance with him.
Sweetheart, you really should ask consent before you grab somebody by the arm.
She just
Frisian
grabbed the
starts
war vet.
dancing. Like
Oh,
still
that is
a
the
blank,
best reaction.
still a fairly blank expression, but starts dancing.
That's
I'm gonna take that as I'm gonna take that as like a
Fuck a duck.
B plus on the reactionary scale, and we will leave that at that.
Is Frisian a good dancer?
I think this deserves a roll.
Frisian's probably a stiff at first, but getting more like the muscle memory comes back.
Yeah, because this is exactly the kind of dance that you would be familiar with, Frisian.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Roll me. Wits and dexterity.
Dexterity. No modifiers.
Yeah, passable at the very least, if nothing else.
Frisian has stood still for like 70 years. He's a little rusty. And also completely disassociated.
Do I need to roll for dancing, or does it even matter?
I feel like you are very practiced at this. I don't think you need to roll for something that you do all the time.
okay. I'm just gonna say, anybody else think that's fucking weird?
What the reaction?
Honestly,
Yeah, a little bit.
Honestly, the past few days, my barometer for weird is just off the way past whatever that is.
I suppose
Honestly,
that's fair.
No, I think that tracks actually. It might be good for him. At worst, I don't think it's bad for him.
As Frisian and Lisa sort of swing dance around the middle of the area, a voice from directly above the group goes, "I'm surprised none of you think this whole plan is dangerous."
Oh, it's very dangerous, but
Wait, which one? There's like 3 different plans.
As you look up and see Chelsea hanging down from above you again, the meeting. None of us know this person.
Of course, and it is extremely dangerous.
No, I mean none of us, as in the freehold, know this person.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they've never been into the commons.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to go alone? Or with only one person?
Mm-hmm.
Are you volunteering?
No. But you have a motley for a purpose.
Yes, we have a very busy motley.
The place that I understand your friend needs to visit is along the way.
Wait a sec. So my meeting is dangerous, but their delivery isn't?
Oh, I know what's being delivered and why.
Well, bully for you, but none of us do.
Yes. And when Winter offers you free information, it's usually helpful.
We should.
I am so
to her.
tired of riddles. Can somebody just say what they mean?
If we don't all go as a group, that we might.
I'm willing to take that risk.
I honestly don't know what is over there. I don't know this person. I don't know who they are. But there's always the risk of a privateer.
Which is why we have more than one person there.
How are you with a fight?
Have you seen them walk
Joe,
down the
what do you-
hills?
there is a distinct look away and look over to Joe. Joe, what would you prefer?
Um, um, well, I thought I knew, and now everything's playing with my head again.
Yes, I understand that.
I trust you to have my back. I also would not be mad if other people had my back as well. But I leave that up to other people because I cannot make that decision.
Fair enough.
I've given my warning. I won't confuse you any further, Chelsea says, and begins to skitter her way back up to the ceiling.
Thank you, Chelsea. That was so helpful. We are in a public place. It seems very unlikely in my mind that this would be a situation where would be an incredible amount of danger. There are signs there that are potentially warning or concerning.
Unrelated.
We can
Sorry, real quick.
go ahead.
Cassandra, roll me wits and intelligence.
Okay.
But continue talking, Jeremy.
I
Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yes. Sorry, I need to get that roll out before I completely forgot about it.
no problem. What was the word I said before?
Be in a public place.
You'll be in a public
be in a
place.
public place.
It seems like an unlikely place to be a danger.
Correct.
If we see anything that looks wrong,
Then we can back away. But
go on.
yes, no, that's. Go ahead.
I just think, on the other hand, coming with a whole gang of people might be a little off-putting.
Absolutely, and that's my concern. That
With two
go
with
ahead.
two successes. Sorry, I keep running into Jeremy.
You're
I
fine. You're
apologize so
fine. Go
much.
ahead.
With two successes, Cassandra, the Knoxville Museum of Art was where you would take it.
Calliope's just God. Cassandra's just gonna start slowly fading into white, and then grayscale into pure black.
Sandra?
It took me a second, but I can't go. I can't go.
Are you all right?
That's the museum about where I was taken.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And of course, you do not have to.
Nobody.
I mean, you did not have to anyway. But
Nobody's going to make you do anything
It's-
that you can't do.
It's not safe there.
you're not wrong.
There's a doorway. That's why I was able to be taken. It's not safe.
Understood.
The only bit of help that I can offer you isn't able to hurt anybody if they come from my persuasion right now. I'm just worried that the two of you will get taken. Whoever the two of you ends up being. And if it's a privateer, then there's nothing he can do to help. So I can't even send you in with backup.
I am assuming that the museum is open at 2 o'clock. Is that correct? And there will be people there. There's only so much that they can do. If we notice that conspicuously everybody is gone, that's what I call a warning sign.
I was taken
Not
in the
for us
middle
to
of a
leave.
I was taken in the middle of an exhibit in the middle of a gala.
With nobody watching your back.
To a point, yeah.
Joe, can I see that book for a moment?
Yes. She hands over the book.
Take the book, open it up, grab a pen. What is... Hold on just a second. Let me see. This spends a moment trying to imagine or trying to think of a good spot. Do, 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 do. And will proceed to write apologies. The museum will not work for us. How about the Golden Corral on Parkway?
I can probably swing that.
There's a little thumbs up drawn. And I hand it back. There, we're no longer in a place where, as near as I am aware.
Joe's gonna look. Joe's gonna look. You drew an emoji?
I've learned those are a thing, so yes.
Joe's just gonna close the book.
There's
And
just a question mark that begins
I
to
am
appear on the page.
I am aware that that makes me seem out of touch. I do not care. But we are no longer in the place where one of us has been taken before. If there is some big secret plan to make that was being organized on relatively short notice to abduct us or abduct you, they will have to reorient those plans to a drastically different location, which means that any of the machinations will have been thrown out the window. unless they predicted that the Golden Corral would be the secondary choice. In which case, frankly, they deserve their rewards for being that good.
What if they don't want to go to the museum? Oh, they probably want to go to the Golden Corral.
This specific Golden Corral. I think we'll be fine.
Again, I would never ask that anybody do something that they can't do. And you're already
Of
doing
course.
a hell of a lot, Cassandra.
I can't quite really wrap my head around what you're talking about. All I'm doing is showing up at an address.
Excuse me?
All I'm doing is showing up at an address.
Yeah, but you didn't have to.
Of course you did. Your family.
I was about to say you and I have two different definitions of the qualifier of have. I needed to.
I mean, so if anybody's hungry, I mean, you can.
Okay, I just before we part our ways and I grab Tia for this, I just want all of you to know, whoever's going on this little rendezvous, if y'all get kidnapped from the Golden Corral, I will remember you fondly. But that is the story I will tell for the centuries.
That is 110% fair. I would do the same if I were in your shoes.
That being said, make sure everybody's phone's charged and on. Everybody keep your phones on silent, though.
Be sure to keep us posted. Dog, really?
Feels funny to know that Frisian still does not have a phone.
I'd like, are y'all still dancing?
Yeah,
Probably.
Frisian's pretty gone, so we'll just keep dancing as long as Lisa keeps going.
I could have
Oh,
danced
that could be a problem.
all night. I could have danced all night.
So now that that situation is solved, we have a few hours because I believe from where we are, it is about a 10-minute walk to the Golden Corral.
Is it?
It's not long, yeah. It's not a walk, but it is like a very brief drive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crap. Cassandra will pull out her phone and open her email. And how much longer do I have until that car gets delivered?
It's scheduled to be delivered. I don't know how. I've never ordered a car online. I don't know how fast those deliver.
It depends on the location and the time and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But generally pretty, oh wait, I'm thinking something different. Never mind. Yeah, I've never had a vehicle I am about to own delivered.
There is a Carvana on the far side of Knoxville.
I will say it will probably be there at 1.
Crap. Okay. I have to head back to. This is infuriating.
It is literally a 10-minute drive from Dollywood to the Golden Corral.
Okay. So I have to go back to Marlena's to pick up my new car.
Ooh.
Honestly, depending on which side of Dollywood you start your trip on, even less.
Let's just go with 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get back in time, I will meet y'all at the Golden Corral. And if I do not, keep me posted. Although she will look down at herself in the rocker outfit, the punk outfit she's wearing, and be like, I kind of stand out just a little bit.
You do.
So,
It'll be fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got some punks who like to eat at Golden Corral too. Okay, I'm gonna go collect my spouse, and y'all keep me posted.
Absolutely.
Will do. Thank you.
Don't mention.
Bridget,
I'm gonna keep mentioning it because that's who I am.
Morlena shouting Frisian kind of like wakes up and vaguely looks over.
Bridget, honey, could you come over here for a minute?
Frisian tries to detach from Lisa. It depends on if Lisa lets go.
Oh, Lisa will like it.
Okay.
Just picture like Lisa letting go and then Frizzy just like being like stumbles over.
Oh, not quite, but it looks like a zombie at a haunt, just kind of slowly
Shuffle,
ambled
shuffle,
over.
shuffle.
Mm.
Sweet.
Yes, Mom.
So, slight arch of a brow. So we are going. If you were busy with your thing, I understand. But we have changed our locale for our meeting place. It's going to be the Golden Corral. I still don't necessarily think that it is the best idea to have Lisa come with. Are you good to keep an eye on her maybe here? It's not far away if we need to. We can probably have you somewhere else nearby if you would prefer. What do you
Here's-
think?
Here's probably fine. There's
Okay.
others to also keep a watch to if something really goes wrong.
Absolutely. We've got a few hours for that. In the meantime, I would like if you could to do me a favor. While we're gone, till we get back, think about something you actually want.
Frisian goes back to 1,000-yard stare.
Snap, 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 right in front of the fucking eyes.
Fades back in.
Don't do that. I know you think that you've been quiet and people have not been noticing. We have been noticing. Everybody's trying to accomplish what they want to accomplish. And I'm not going to let you stay. I'm not going to let you get stuck where you are. Because where you are is still not a healthy place. Not yet. So I need you to think and decide what you want. What you want help with. Do you want to understand your past? Do you want to find where you belong here among whichever court? Do you want to toss all that aside and find an entirely new road, and you just need help figuring out what that road is? Whatever the case may be, I think you need to make some progress on that.
Frisian's been slowly nodding along. No, like nodding in
Okay,
acknowledgement.
just making sure it's not just like a
Yeah.
blank nod. Okay, cool. All right. We'll figure it out. But we need to know what you want first. I don't want to be making decisions for you if it's not something that you want to do. But staying in one place, letting everything else pass you by is not the way. And we will not stand for that.
All right.
Wonderful. Okay. So we've got a few hours. Joe,
Yes.
need anything do you need anything to prepare for this?
A drink.
That makes sense.
That's not what you were talking about.
I mean, no. Whatever you need to prepare for this. Perhaps should not be overly intoxicated, but
No, 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 no.
I don't think a drink would go amiss.
The way my anxiety's going right now, I don't think that's possible.
Fair enough. A couple hours, or a few hours, I will. Hour there, hour back. I will be back here in a couple hours and we can head out. I need to get home, pick some things up, and I will be back.
Frisian, after the conversation with Marlena, would go back to dancing if Lisa was still wanting to dance.
Lisa will absolutely dance.
Joe is going to stay at the booth and just have a drink and just exist.
Yep.
Trying not to worry too much.
So, Frisian and Lisa are currently dancing. Joe is sitting and having a drink. Marlena is going to their place to get some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra, what are you doing?
Going out to grab Tyr to go on this delivery mission.
All right. So while all of that is happening, everyone starts to head in their separate directions. That's where we're going to take a quick break.
Go.
Remember, you took our break, you take your break. So set up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
And we're back.
So, the next couple of hours are taken up primarily by the two people that have gone off in their own directions.
Yeah.
Starting with Cassandra. You head immediately outside, and Tyr is not immediately like adjacent to the building, but is like a little ways away within eyesight, just sort of sitting down having a drink.
So she will go over and sit down opposite him.
How'd it go?
It's hard to say. Joe and Marlena and the rest of them are going to a. Is this the same Golden Corral?
Yes.
Going to our first date night. Our second first date night locale. To meet up with a.
Are those the same? Tyr says, sort of like trying to think if your literal first date was also at that Golden Corral.
She just sort of sits up. But I remember we met at the convention.
Well, that wasn't really the first date.
No. It's definitely where I fell for you, though.
That was a nerd in cosplay.
I said that out loud. Got it. Anyway, they're going there to meet an individual who's. I don't really like the moniker because it seems self-important and self-imposed. Going by the Prince of Dragons.
Tyr kind of like thinks for a second. I don't know if you call yourself the Prince of Dragons, or if people call you that, because that's a hell of a title to uphold.
Oh, people definitely call themselves Prince of Dragons.
I'm just saying, it takes a lot to be able to pull that title off.
Sounds like something someone from Hot Topic would call themselves.
100%.
Yeah, I worry about him because now I need you to breathe before I finish this sentence. Okay? Let me finish it and breathe. The first locale that he suggested was the Knoxville Museum of Art. And I told them very plainly that if they decide to go there, I will not be going back.
I don't blame you.
I don't.
If you're not ready to look back at that place, I couldn't blame you for the rest of your life.
Not yet. Maybe someday, but not yet. And she'll look down at her hands, almost like forgetting that she had a mission to do. Right, I have to make a delivery. So you're welcome to accompany me along, or you can head back to the house.
I mean, the kids are out at school all day. They're not going to be back for a bit.
What time do they get home?
Those are 6.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be there when they get home. Maybe.
Oh, sorry. Correction. I was thinking middle school times.
Like, so what the fuck kind of elementary school is that?
No, middle school is the one that lets out at 5. So they're more around 3-ish. Correction. Closer to 4-ish.
We might have you back in time. If not, I assume they got keys and
Oh yeah, they have keys, just in case they need them. But I try to be back in time.
all right, then can you give me a lift to Marlena's? I have to go sign for a car.
Yeah, I can do that. Your friend's gonna be okay without you?
I don't know if I can answer that question. I'm hoping that the answer is yes.
Fair enough.
Give us really okay.
What is okay?
Calm down there, Hot Topic.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be it'll be okay. Everything will be okay.
Everything's going to shit.
I also have to make a delivery. And she'll just slide the address paper over to Tier.
Yep. You want me to drive you out here too?
I mean,
Not a long drive.
if you want. I am going to pick up a car, so I could do the driving if you wanted. Actually, your death machine is stocked. How about we take your car?
Sure, let's go.
I'm really excited for you to get to my place, and I've managed to get there before you. So you walk up and you hear somebody inside.
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, I was gonna say, so you're headed straight back to the house.
Yes,
So yeah,
I'm
having,
Ubering it there.
Yep. Between the two of you, with you heading straight to an Uber and then going there directly, and with the two of them talking first.
Yep.
But they do have their own vehicle, so they don't have to wait for a vehicle. But I think between the two of you, you do arrive first.
Okay. Yep. I head up, head inside, and I am de-dragging, getting dressed in. This is just what a normal guy who's going to a restaurant by himself at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Which, to be fair, well, that's the thing. You said most of my clothing has updated itself.
Yeah.
So
modern materials
yes.
and constructions, yeah. Same general style, but yeah.
Anything that I've got myself is definitely going to be my style, but more throwback. But honestly, a somewhere around the age of 50-year-old guy would not be a strange thing to see eating alone in a Golden Corral at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Absolutely fair.
Yeah, I'm in there. Whenever you come in, either in the process of de-dragging or getting dressed, and I am getting my gun. Because just in case.
So we'll probably walk in on you just like checking the bullets in your gun.
Probably. Oh, hi.
Hi. Is that
a gun? Yes, it's a gun.
how rusty are you on shooting?
I have. Well, that is a very good question. I have not shot this in about, well, I would say, 25 years.
Right.
But I
Right.
am proficient. You did not, let's put it this way. You did not start doing drag in the South in the 19, well, that really doesn't matter now that I think about it, but at the age that I did, the time that I did, and not learn how to shoot someone if necessary.
That is completely
So-
fair. I forget how privileged my generation is.
It is a delight and I love it and I hate it too. So, anyway, I think you're better safe than sorry. I don't
Jesus.
expect that there's going to be any major problems, and I have a feeling that dear Wintercourt person is just trying to do what Wintercourt does, but at least from what I understand, they do. But it never hurts to be ready. I will do my best not to shoot any innocent bystanders.
This might make me an awful person when I say this, but I don't really care what innocent people you shoot. Make sure that people are remotely okay.
I understand that point, or that point of view. I don't think it makes you an awful person. We are not them anymore. Still, the less people in the news reports of the lower body count in the news reports, the better.
That's probably fair. And she would just sort of reach behind the couch and slide out that sword and pick up her shield.
They don't want to walk out with that one. I believe your delivery just got here, Tyr says.
Ah, son of a bitch. Put it back down. She will head out and go sign for her car and provide all of the necessary documentation.
What does the car look like?
She would have went with black. 2024. Right, I already looked this up. Yeah, so she was going with a she was going for SUV.
Now,
So
SUV or mom van?
It's probably bordering on mom van.
Okay.
SUV is also kind of vague because there's little SUVs and then there's like Chevy Suburbans.
2024 Toyota Highlander.
Okay, so mid-size SUV, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bordering
Okay,
on
fair
mom
enough,
van,
yeah.
Definitely bordering on mom van.
Not
Isn't
quite there, though. To be
Not
fair.
quite there, but getting there.
Yeah. It's right in that in
In a-
between.
In a few more evolutions, yeah.
It's in the sweet spot.
Yep. Still looks kind of cool. Doesn't quite have the put all of the soccer stuff in the backness.
Which she will, as soon as the guy dropping off the car leaves or has pulled out, she will open the trunk and then just remove that spare tire and and just slide her shield under there and put the sword in the back. And wait. Like almost like she's gone just like into this is the thing that I had planned to do the entire time. And then like as she like closes her trunk, she just sort of cusses and then presses the button to open it again, grabs them out and walks them over to Tyr's vehicle.
Are you not taking on your trip, on your mission? If you're not, that's fine. I'm not questioning it.
Actually, no. She will toss you the keys.
Oh, good. You can read my mind.
Yeah. I mean, besides, I don't want people to keep paying for Ubers if they don't have to.
Exactly.
I'll make sure to add everybody on the insurance. It won't be that much. I mean, it will, but it won't be.
All right. Well, if you get in trouble and need help, make sure to let us know as soon as you can. We will do the same. Is this a long delivery?
I literally have to just set it down and walk away.
And where are you taking it?
She will list off the area. Shawnee, assist, please.
Yeah, it is up in Knoxville, northeast side of Knoxville.
Okay.
Around Park City.
So you're not delivering it to like Dayton or somewhere that you're going to be an overnight trip, is what I'm saying.
Nah.
Right. Perfect. All right. Well, good luck. Drive safe.
Please let me know if anything happens.
They're going to Knoxville. They're not going to Nashville. They're not going that far.
If you need to kill anybody, make sure that you hide the bodies well.
I've got people for that, Tyr says, half joking.
I can. I don't. Sweetie, I can hide a body where you'll never be able to get to it.
That's fair. Well, most people wouldn't.
Yes, but you really want to throw dead bodies into the hedge.
No, because I feel like me feeding the hedge a dead body just is asking for me to be attacked by some form of hedge zombie later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like fun.
That just sounds like a lot of hassle. Okay.
We should get off. We should go our own ways.
She will
And yeah,
pop into Tyr's passenger seat.
All right. Good luck out there.
you as well. Yeah, you hop into the new car.
Yep.
Yep, and I don't regret that.
Take about 15 minutes to adjust everything just the way it needs to be. And I am heading back to pick up someone.
Yep. So between the two of you, you're both headed roughly the same direction for a while, but then
We're just driving right next to each other.
If you don't speed up, do not let me keep looking at him, or I will change my mind about going to this thing.
All right.
And then just to be petty, Marlena also speeds up to keep pace.
It's Jackson at this point, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you keep going in the same direction for a minute before Jackson splits off to head to Dollywood while Tyr and Sandra head up to Knoxville. What's been going on at the Commons in the meantime?
Dancing.
The three of you that are there.
Probably after about 10 minutes, if nothing really changed, Lisa would have reverted back to Frank and stopped dancing.
Joe has finished her one drink, her one screwdriver, and is actually just sitting very quietly, kind of in her own head.
It was a bit quiet in here, at least in your section. The Commons, as a whole, is never quiet because there's a whole section to it devoted to spring, and it's an open concept kind of floor plan. So, there's never absolute quiet. But where you're sitting in the middle, sort of not all aligned to the same court and not all having business with the same court, you're sort of sitting in that middle ground that exists between the four corners. It's a little quiet where you're at. But after a little while, Blurg, Jackson returns.
Yep.
So Jackson,
Walks
you
in.
walk in.
Yep.
While there's plenty of noise in here, your group is basically a graveyard.
The thought comes to mind because it's open concept. Does Lisa and Frisian's dancing get the attention of Spring Court?
Oh, absolutely. And there's definitely a couple of people who come down and start dancing in that area as well. And the dancing continues even after the two of you stop, because when Spring starts a party, the party keeps going.
Frisian would keep dancing with
Excellent.
any of the Spring Quarters that come out to dance.
Excellent.
It's just kind of like dancing and thinking to himself.
Still dancing with that 1,000-yard stare.
Not quite a full 1,000-yard stare. Because
100-yard
he's
stare.
getting, yeah,
500.
like he's getting more into the dancing and letting that keep him from like slipping completely back.
Mm-hmm.
If people are singing, I mean, Frank will probably have seen. Are there like musical instruments of any sort around?
Oh, yes.
He'll probably have picked up some sort of musical instrument and been playing.
Just pick up a keyboard, because keyboard's a very versatile instrument that can simulate a number of instruments.
Well, what instruments are there?
Knowing the Commons, most anything you could ask for.
Let's go for a sick trumpet solo.
Fair enough. So there's a bit of brass music in the background coming from Frank. Roll me a performance. Let's see.
Expression.
Presence and expression.
Presence and expression. And
2, 3. Roll 2 more. 4 successes. It's a pretty good brass solo, which helps to make up for the fact that it's the only instrument.
I probably, rotate between instruments, just going through them. Specifically, he plays trumpet, saxophone, keyboard, and fiddle.
The stereotypical furry instruments. The thing that if you see a furry with an instrument, it's one of those 4.
It's more that they're the stereotypical like swing instruments.
I mean, fair, but also there's a lot of overlap there.
Swing, yeah. Oh, and double bass. He plays double bass, but he's probably not whipping out a sick double bass solo because that's
even
not
more
really what you do.
Bass doesn't get solos, much to their chagrin.
You ever tried to play it? Bass gets solo, like little solos, but it's really hard to rock out a solo on double bass for an extended period.
But You know, probably partway through a couple of different string courtiers probably pick up a couple of the other instruments and join in, and it goes from a solo to an impromptu jam session.
Heck yeah.
But there is a bit of building music in the middle, with Frisian seemingly dancing along with whoever is around, swapping from dance partner to dance partner, and then Joe is just sitting there at a table, nursing what is left of a one drink.
Probably playing with the glass, like folding the straw, folding a straw wrapper into
into tinier and tinier squares.
Yes.
I was thinking of the stars.
And this is what you walk into, Jackson.
I
Should
look
be
over,
proud.
look at that, go, all right. Look over to the table, come over and just sit down.
You should be proud. Frisian's not staring off into nothing.
No, absolutely.
Once Jackson walks in, Frankel, and there's enough of a band going on to keep the music up, Frankel dismiss himself from the group, with a bit of a hand wave and a bow, and step over to the table.
The jam session continues on in your absence.
I can imagine. Fun
Please
place
tell me
here.
there's somebody like the sax man from Lost Boys. I'm sorry, you espresso,
well-
that's all I think of.
Lisa didn't come out, so it wasn't me.
There's probably someone in Spring who would, though. There's
That's my next
absolutely
Bruja
someone in
character.
Spring who would, actually.
Frank?
Real quick, Jeremy, the pictures are messed around.
Huh?
Oh, they've had the portraits rotated.
Jack just came in. Katie's in charge. What?
Huh? What?
Your portrait.
Oh, you're sitting in my position, apparently.
Y'all close out your cameras during the break so it screws up the overlay.
I'm sorry, I don't like eating on camera.
You can just turn off your camera in Zoom. That's all I'm
What
saying.
I do?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
turning
like,
off your camera and-
turn off your camera and or turn on. You can something you can do because
you can put a sticky note on the camera. Yes.
Okay, fine.
That's
whatever.
it.
Like I specifically run
It's
my camera
fine.
through OBS so I could just turn off the camera in OBS and it doesn't turn off in Zoom.
Back to
Yeah, everybody, Jesus Christ, everybody was in the wrong spot. And I apparently decided to do this the hard way as opposed to the easy way.
oh my god.
Because the easy way is just move you guys in Zoom. But no, somehow my dumbass mind was like, you know what? Let me move the windows. Now I don't know. Okay, there you are. There's Rev. All right, we are good now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yes,
Yeah.
Frank. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. Joe, are you ready? As you're ever going to be? Notice how I did put that qualify in there so you could not say, no, I am not yet ready. Because you never will be ready.
I just thought you were going to take the words right out of my mouth, but you just decided to cut off that streak completely.
It is a
Yeah.
talent. All right.
Yeah. I mean, what else have I got to lose?
Why would you even say that?
I mean,
all
as
right.
mowers are saying nothing bad's going to happen.
I did not say that. I never once said nothing bad is going to happen.
You said
I make-
you'd be fine.
I am fairly sure I did not. I said there is risk. I will never ever say things are going to be perfectly fine unless I truly believe they will. And there are things that we cannot account for in this case, whether it is whatever the other person that we may be meeting, whether it is the odds that any other outside influences that may make their presence known, whether it is some guy who just decides to walk into the Golden Corral and start shooting up the place for some reason or another. I cannot control everything.
Okay,
You want some backup?
point taken. Can we go?
I mean, backup from outside, hang out in the parking lot or even the building next door, just so in case something goes wrong.
I mean, what do you think, Joe? I guess here's my first question. And I'm going to say this in a way that is as gentle as I can possibly make it, because I am not trying to mean offense by this. What are the odds that at some point in this meeting, which I would imagine could take anywhere from 5 minutes to a couple, 3 hours, what are the odds that Lisa comes?
Oh, I wouldn't bring Lisa along. She's not the patient type.
No, she is not. I don't think it is necessarily the worst idea in the world. But it's your call, Joe.
It's fine with me.
All right, let's get Frizzing. So, Frizzing, you can wait outside, or maybe next door. What is next to this
IHOP.
godforsaken
IHOP.
eatery? Oh, that's right. There's an IHOP.
Oh, you know, maybe next door is not as good of an idea.
There's got to be something else next door.
Hey, shit goes down at the IHOP, okay?
There's IHOP, and then there's Reagan's House of
There's
Pancakes.
a ribs. There is next to the Golden Corral on the other side. There is a ribs and barbecue place. There is a McDonald's. There is a Wendy's. I think those would be relatively okay.
There's a Denny's. And get a Grand Slam.
I mean, Denny's isn't as bad as IHOP. You are correct.
There is an eatery nearby that you guys can, you and Frizzing can be at, that is not going to cause problems, I'm sure.
All right.
I'm going to wave in Frizzing's direction.
Frizzing will walk over, less zombie-like than the last time.
Frizzing, sweetie, I am truly delighted that you are enjoying yourself. There's been a minor change of plans, and would you mind coming along with us?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can wait out. We will position you at a nearby establishment. Thus, should anything go wrong, when the gunshots begin, you will know to move in and perhaps help.
I know there's the IHOP that we stayed at last time.
Oh, gunshots. Do you have an extra gun?
No, I only have the one.
Can we get an extra gun on the way over?
That seems unlikely.
You're in Tennessee.
I understand that.
Actually, it seems real easy. There's probably a gun show between here and there.
I understand that. Jackson is trying to find ways to keep the loosest of loose cannons from getting their hands on firearms.
When I search guns, up across the street from IHOP pops up Kurt's Ace Hardware.
Yeah, you can get a gun
Yeah,
at Ace
you can
Hardware.
get a handgun at most hardware stores around here.
I hate this fucking country.
Can we just pretend there's no way they can get a gun so we can go to the fucking Golden Corral? Because we could go into the whole commentary about how easy it is to get a gun in this country.
No, it's great.
Here all
It's
night.
great. It's a hardware store. You can buy everything you need to kill someone and bury them in one spot. You can get
Handgun, tarps, saws, shovels,
full lie
barrels.
of any kind of any gate that you want. Like,
Paint cans.
yep. You're good. Fucking unbelievable. All right. Sorry. Anyways, let's go.
I think the funniest part is like we're supposed to stay somewhere like out like nearby the Golden Corral. in
You're
case something
gonna
happens.
totally gonna
across
go to
the
hardware
street.
store.
Across the street for a gun.
Amazing.
No, I just want them to like wander the aisles of like Ace Hardware.
Fucking Weird Al's hardware store playing in the background.
Actually, can we stop by a clothing store too? I haven't changed since we got here.
My mind completely blanked out what horror show you're wearing. I just look at you and I'm like, oh, that's god awful. And then I look away and my mind, for my own good, just completely makes me forget. You are Arcadia.
Can he just buy a fucking tarp at the hardware store so we can
Sure,
get here
let's
already?
go.
Or a poncho.
I'm sure there is a clothing store nearby. The gun and hardware and many restaurants strip mall.
To be fair, the hardware store might have clothes itself, like jeans and like.
Oh, swear to God.
Jeans and overalls you'll find at the hardware store. Yes.
Not an ace.
Not an Ace though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair.
That's more like
I don't
a
know.
Home Depot kind of thing.
My town only just got an Ace from a different chain, and we don't. My family doesn't even go to that one. We go to the one in the next town over, which has like Western shirts and jeans and boots and hats, even in a hardware store for some reason.
Yeah, thank you for laughing at me. I really appreciate
I'm sorry, but the breakdown's just great.
Yeah, it really
I know
is.
you're paid.
it. Like we corral the ducks this way. This way.
So, the four of you head off for the Golden Corral, and presumably a stop for clothes on the way there, so that Frank is not literally just wearing the bottom half of a fursuit.
It's a
Listen.
partial. I was wearing a torn up white button up and slacks as well,
Yeah.
and Under Armour.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not being seen out with Frank at this point, so it's none of my. If we just want to go, Jackson's okay with that. But no, yeah.
It's just like let's go with the original plan and leave
Somehow-
Frank and Frizzy in here.
Somehow Frank would
Go
find
back
us.
to that.
It's like I'm almost certain like you would have like Frank would have some supernatural like hyper.
I have literal claws.
That's not what I was going for.
No, it wouldn't be
Anyway.
Frank that finds you. It's going to be Lisa that finds you.
Anyway,
Oh,
we should at least start this meeting before we end this session.
before I'm gonna fucking punch somebody.
I love.
And two of you live in the same state. And one of you I could get away with punching.
Holly would back you up if you punched me, so you're good on both of us.
A 2 for 1.
So the group of you head out.
Yep.
There's a new vehicle for those of you who haven't seen it before.
Yep.
You're no longer getting an Uber. There's actually a vehicle waiting for you.
I found it on the side of the road.
Not technically incorrect.
Right, exactly.
Gone across the country that way
But yeah.
before.
Make our way to the Golden Corral.
All right. So, it's not a long drive. It's like 10 minutes. And you arrive there just around your 2:00 meeting time. You arrive outside. Everybody go ahead and give me a wits and composure roll.
A wits and what?
Wits and composure.
Oh, good. Oh, look, I already have it pulled up. That's handy.
1.
2.
Roll
Pens
another
keep
D10.
exploding.
They keep exploding, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's 8s plus.
Yeah, 8 plus, yeah.
Won't let me scroll. I can't see.
You got none for Joe.
Oh, damn it.
I got 4.
1, 2, and 4.
There's
Joe
a world
could
where I
make
figure
that-
out these.
Joe,
Joe
I
could
say
make
you
that a
could
really-
you could elect to make that a dramatic failure for a beat.
Okay, fuck. Let's do it.
All right. So we're going in order of successes and then the dramatic failure. So for the one success, Marlena or Jackson technically, the street looks relatively normal. You're not seeing a whole lot of extra activity. It's like the standard food place looks average. There's a small amount of people inside the Golden Corral, but it's only the afternoon. It's not like the dinner rush, which is what Golden Corral really gets busy at. Frisian, yeah, there's normal streets. The like regular traffic. There's some people here. There's a fight breaking out at the IHOP. You know, it's just, it sounds normal to you.
Heck yeah, bite of the IHOP. Frisian watches as they drive by.
I just picture a manager at IHOP going, "Where do you think we are? Waffle House?"
Exactly what with the 4 successes, Frank realizes, wait, that's the wrong place for fights to be breaking out. And realizes that something is a little off about the IHOP. And it is at that point that Frank realizes that the people who are starting that fight in the IHOP don't look normal.
What do they look like?
Well, one of them, well, for one, you can see through their masks into their means, and 2, they look like some hobgoblins that not ones you've seen before, but there's a different variety of hobgoblins that are starting a fight in that IHOP right now.
By the way, you are echoing. Sorry.
Sorry, my voice is loud enough that I echo.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Like, it's not a big deal. I was just giving the heads up.
But yeah, so there's a variety of hobgoblins that are starting a fight in the IHOP, which is weird to you because hobgoblins don't normally leave the hedge unless they've been like sent for some reason.
We got hobgoblins at an IHOP, I'll say. Think they're related to your Prince of Dragons?
Fuck.
Are they the ones fighting?
Take a look.
And now that Frank points it out, yes, the hobgoblins are the ones starting the fight in the IHOP.
Fighting.
How about that? Well, keep an eye on it if you can. Maybe.
Hey, Frisian, you want to go to eat at IHOP?
I could go for some IHOP.
Cool. What do they serve there?
Pancakes.
I don't know. All I remember is the coffee.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. All right.
IHOP means International House of Pancakes.
Ah. Well, we're certainly international. We got Arcadians. Let's go check it out.
I hate everything you just said, but I also appreciate that you said it.
So it's at about the point that you start to walk over to the IHOP that the fight in the IHOP starts to spill out from the IHOP. As one of these hobgoblins grabs what appears to be just a mundane human and throws them through the front window of the IHOP. There is glass shatters as a human body flies through a glass veneer and ends up spilling out into the concrete outside.
I'll step up to the same hobgoblin. That looks like a good time. What you doing around here?
Hey, just out here on a lark. Got something to do out here. The hobgoblin says, not immediately aggressive to you because you are a hob friend.
Looking around. Business in the real?
Yeah, something like that. Somebody paid us for a job. What was the job? Right. Looking for that one.
It's got to be a really profitable job to be bringing you out here. I can't imagine it was a small amount. Who are you looking for?
Oh, some lost-looking git needs to be grabbed.
Got a name?
Hey. Who is... No, we got a scent.
Oh. What kind of scent?
Smells like old books and desperation.
Old books and desperation.
Joe just goes over there and starts beating the shit out of him.
I'm assuming that you two went off to the other place, and Frisian and I are checking out.
We're still sitting by the car, I think, currently.
Speaking of which, getting a whiff of that right about now.
Yeah. Old books and desperation.
I turn.
I might know. I'm new to the real.
I will fucking punch you.
But I might have run
that's
across
Katie
the
or
person
Joe,
you're
but I will
talking
fucking-
about.
Yeah.
You got a mode of transportation? I can take you back.
I think I might know. Boys, gather up. And the rest of the hobgoblins sort of finish off the people they're fighting right now, sort of toss them around. Sort of start to convene around this guy who appears to be in charge.
Want me to show you where I found her?
I think we can follow our noses. We've got to follow you around. We got to cut you in on the deal.
Well, yeah, but you got to be real careful because changelings are tricky. There's lots of tricks. The mask isn't the only thing that they can throw. They can throw lots of different false trails. You always got to go back to the source because that's where the scent's going to be freshest. Come on, you guys know hunting. Or maybe you're more of a political kind of group. A lot of market sense, but not so much in on the hunting and snatching bit. You got to go to the source, follow the trail from there. Changelings always come back to their memories.
Roll me manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh, this is terrible.
Still in the car, seeing all of this. I imagine Joe's like in the passenger seat, looking over, and I look back and I go, "This does not mean that I was wrong." And I'm carting up the car and getting ready to drive away with it.
Okay, Does my market sense help me at all?
Hang on a minute. I need to check what market sense says.
It means I'm good at dealing. It means I'm good at making deals with hobgoblins.
You're not trying to make a deal with them. You're
Okay.
trying to mislead
I'm just trying
them,
to straight
so-
up mislead them. Nothing I'm saying is a lie.
Fair. So you, I believe that's a chance die for you. It's not because it's a chance die, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, chance die has to be a 10 for it to be a success.
Okay. Can I spend a willpower?
You were at 0, so yes, you can spend the willpower for 3 extra dice.
Which means
which
it's
will
no
be-
longer a chance roll.
So you roll 2 more as well, so you'll have 1 success.
Okay.
I can't see anything because it won't let me
So you
scroll.
got 2 successes.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Refresh your roll 20.
No
You know,
willpower.
that just might be something.
So you tell them that, and they yeah, that's right. Which means we just need to head up the mountain because that's where we was pointed to start the search. That's where they came from. Right now, boys, come on. And the hobgoblin starts to make their way out of the IHOP, sort of trailing the destruction around behind
The
them.
black Kyler is already driving away.
Look at Frizzine as they leave. Friendly fellows.
So, which direction is the
Yeah.
Black Highlander driving?
I feel like like probably straight down the highway, and if we need to, we can turn off somewhere. But I'm heading. We're not going all the way there, probably, but in the general Knoxville direction. So like northwest,
All right.
north, and then northwest. How the highway is.
So, I'm going to need you to make me a drive test, dexterity and drive.
Yep.
As you're starting to make your way down the road, when what at first seems like someone just runs out in front of your vehicle.
All right, I'm spending willpower on this.
I just bought that thing.
New vehicle and immediately vehicular homicide.
1.
All right. So you swerve the car hard to the left and force it off of the main road onto the sidewalk. As this individual runs out directly in front of the vehicle. And as you sort of like bump the car over the sidewalk and into an open parking lot, and sort of try and reorient your bearings, you realize that it is a large hob who is currently coming at you, wearing what appears to be a giant red cap, knitted cap, and is sort of running at you with these sort of clonking iron boots that seem to be stomping across the ground towards you with a wicked-looking blade in his hand.
Reverse.
And as you try and reverse into it, it looks like it's just going to launch itself at the car and try and just latch on.
And I'm reversing and I'm calmly handing Joe a Glock,
Oh, what?
A Glock.
Oh,
a gun.
As it sort of like spins off to the side as you try and run into it, a second figure, dressed in a long brown coat sort of tackles this large hob to the ground and sort of presses it down. And you see a shine of steel as some kind of like traditional sword is pulled out and deflects off this wicked knife that this hob is trying to use, and sort of presses down and starts to wrestle the hob to the ground. You get a flash of green scales and black hair as this individual like pulls a sword and starts to press it down into the hob and sort of holds it there.
Great. Not my concern. Driving away from this scene. I don't care who it is. I don't care anything. We're getting away from this situation.
And as you drive basically directly away from whatever's going on here, leaving Frisian and Frank to deal with the situation. And this mysterious individual who had tackled this hob before it could try and grab onto your vehicle. That's where we're going to end for the week.
Oh boy.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.